Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone out to today's webinar. This is Murray Tucker as your presenter today, and I wanted to just talk to you or continue to progress with your SEO workings and findings and what we're continuing to move forward and work on, and also help you on your next steps on what you can do as well. Just a brief synopsis is we're going to be going over browsers, okay, that you can use for SEO, plugins for those browsers, and then what we can do within those tools. So you can do this for your own site. It's another way to check out competitors, as well as see what you can do to just further go or better your progression on the SEO portion of the site also. So just from here, or just to get started, if you want to follow along, you can. Now, let me just give you a heads up or synopsis. If you are on a PC computer, now I'm using a Macintosh computer. If you're using a PC computer and you're using Internet Explorer, I highly recommend you do not. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but Internet Explorer is actually going to be shut down here soon. It's been hacked so many times that the company of Microsoft pretty much can't get it back. Basically, there's no coming back from it. So they're scrapping it. So one day you may walk to your computer and try and get online, and there may not be an Internet Explorer anymore. So we want you to start right now, if you haven't, using either what's called Google Chrome, and you can do a quick search for Google Chrome, and it should be the first thing that comes up here. Click on their link and download. So this is Google Chrome's website. Now I'm actually using Google Chrome here. And there's another one that's called Firefox. If you search that, that'll be one of the first things that comes up as well. And that's a another one you can download that's just like Internet Explorer and Chrome, and it's right there, free download. I recommend you do download those and start working on or working from either one of these. I highly recommend Chrome, though, to be your #1 choice. This is because everything is updated within the browser, like your Adobe Flash Player, the JavaScripts. You don't have to remember what those are, but Google Chrome will do it automatically and for you. So it's always up to date. It's always running at top performance. Firefox is getting to that point, but there's no way for them to sync across platforms like Google Chrome does. So unfortunately, you still have to update third-party software like your Adobe Flash players and your JavaScripts for the browser to run. Now the browser will run fine even if you don't have those updated software or programs, but I highly recommend you use one of those too. Now again, if you're still using Internet Explorer, that's fine, but I would start making the transition now because yes, you might go to your computer one day and it may not be there, okay? Internet Explorer is again being shut down, and there is another browser that Microsoft is coming out with that's called Spartan. Rumor has it that it's going to be called Spartan, so feel free to be watching for that also. But again, I highly doubt it will be to the point of Chrome's level or Firefox's level because it will come out in the beta first. So we're going to be talking about these browsers in SEO fashion and what we can use as a plugin for these browsers on the SEO status, and then how to utilize those also. So let's go ahead and get started here. Now again, if you haven't downloaded those, I would start it. It can take a little bit though to start. And if you have, like, let's say bookmarks on your Internet Explorer or other browser you're using, you can import them into the new browser as if you never skipped a beat from using your Internet Explorer to the new browser. It's just a matter of transitioning and kind of getting used to the new one. And if you don't fully understand Google Chrome or kind of how it works, there are YouTube videos. We have a webinar that we start out with that will explain the Google Chrome browser, as well as Firefox, and then how to kind of navigate through it as well. But yeah, I highly recommend those. If you've started the download, great. Again, be aware it can take up to like 15 minutes to do or download, depending on your internet connection and speed. So I would get started on those. Now, getting into the topic today, we're going to be talking about plugins, like I was saying, that you can actually plug into the browser to do SEO status or searches and understand SEO to a point where you can further go your business, your company, and your website. And then just doing SEO in general for your site to gain traffic. So to start out here, first things first is if you look up here, I don't know if you can quite see it, but it's what's called SEO Quake. I would write that down if you don't or is not sure what that is. I have, if you notice, I have my Chrome browser up, but I can go to my other pages, and I have my Firefox page up as well. So this is Firefox, if you can see that there at the top left-hand corner. Now, I don't have my SEO Quake plugin installed on Firefox. So I wanted to show you how that works, how you can plug it into your browser. And it looks like they just came out with SEO Quake for Safari as well. That's awesome. So what we want to do is just make sure, oh, looks like I updated. We get that installed. So from here, I'm going to go back to my Chrome browser just so you're following along. So from my Chrome browser, if you open up a new tab, Command T or Control T, and then if you just search, now the nice thing about the Google Chrome browser is the address bar also works as a search bar for Google as well. So you can just put your cursor in there and type whatever you want, and it does a Google search, as well as goes to addresses or web addresses as well. So if you just search SEO Quake and do a search, now I already have it plugged in for my Google Chrome, but if you just do a search, SEO Quake, again, if you can see that, we'll zoom in for you. I just did a quick search, and it should be the first one that comes up. And there it is. Install SEO Quake for Google Chrome. So it's just right there. When you click on it, it just takes you to the download section where you can add it as a plugin, where it says, now mine says added to Chrome already because I've already added it, but yours will say add to Chrome right here. Just go ahead and add it. It's free service, easy service. It just plugs right into your browser. You may have to restart your browser. That was kind of olden days though. Usually it just plugs in automatically. You don't need to do anything, but feel free to refresh it if it's not working. Patricia, you asked, I'm not seeing Parlays Diesel, not SEO Quake. I'm seeing Parlays Diesel. Are you still seeing it? Because I'm still on Parlays Diesel. Okay, it may not have shown up here. Let me see if I can show you the screen. Okay. Are you seeing it now? Anyone? Anyone? Everyone? Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Perfect. Sorry about that. So let's go through that again. Okay. So I'm back to the Google Chrome. Okay. As you can see. So if we open up a new tab, or if you hit this tab here, so a new tab, and then do an SEO search for SEO Quake, it'll come up. Everyone still see that? Give me a yes. Sorry about that. Perfect. All right. Yes. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Sharon. Robert, Felicia, thank you. And Brenda, thank you. So it'll be the first one that comes up here. And then you'll see the install for Google Chrome. That's kind of where we're going to get started. So when you download Google Chrome, remember you can go to the Google Chrome browser here and then install it. And then you can, or for download, you do personal computers, that's downloading Google Chrome. And then when you search it, you have this button here, or when you're on the Google Chrome browser, you search SEO Quake, install SEO Quake, and that will automatically come in. Now, how it comes in is if you look up here at the top right-hand corner, you're going to see SEO Quake, okay? So that'll come through SEO Quake. You'll see that, and that tells you that the tool is there. It's been plugged in to the browser. Now, you actually have to click on it, and it will tell you enable or disable, and then what you want it to see in the toolbar. Okay, so we'll go over that, but I wanted to show you how to install it. Let's do that. I'm going to do it for my Firefox. Let's see. I want to make sure you can see that, though. Okay, you guys still with me? Can you see that? I'm on Parlays Diesel Performance again. Let me know. Can you see that? Yes. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. All right, perfect. Got that over. Now with Firefox, again, I've downloaded Firefox as well to my computer, and then I've searched in another toolbar, just like Google Chrome. Thank you, Brenda, Sharon, Robert, thank you, Patricia, thank you. It's gonna, if you search SEO Quake, again, same way as Google Chrome, but it will automatically read that you're in the Firefox browser. So we're going to install it. Okay. Now, Firefox presented this site, SEO Quake, from asking you to install software onto your computer. So this is their security measures, just saying, hey, this website's trying to install something. Are you sure it's okay? Yes, we want to allow. It'll take a second, and then the installing process will be there. We want to install. Now, Firefox may require that you restart. So it's going to go away for a second, so stay with me. I'm going to go back over to my Chrome. So I just moved back over to my Chrome browser, but I have to restart my Firefox. So it's going to kick you out of the screen for just a moment there. So give me 1 second. Can you guys still see my screen? You still seeing the Hobbit and everything there? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you guys for being so interactive. This helps me out a lot. Okay, so it restarted my Firefox. So let's bring back up Firefox again. Okay, so here we are. Parlays Diesel Performance. And I'm going to refresh that page. And it is working. Now, how you can tell it's working is you'll get a toolbar here at the top. Okay. Now, Firefox's SEO Quake is not my favorite. Again, that's why I like to go to Google Chrome. And nowadays, Google Chrome is the leading browser on the internet. So people or companies build their software around Google Chrome because that's what people are using. And to be honest with you, it's kind of the way of the future. It looks like SEO Quake is making one for Safari. So if you're a Mac user out there like myself, you can use it on Safari. Again, you'll notice there's nothing for Internet Explorer because it's being shut down. So maybe we'll see one here for Spartan when that comes out. I'm interested to see if that will come out for Mac as well. So just be aware of that, and we can go from there. So install that in. If you guys haven't installed it, please do. Now, again, I am going to be going back to the Chrome browser to show you this tool because it just works better. Now, again, if you're more familiar with the Firefox browser, please use it. Please get familiar with it, but I am going to use Chrome for this presentation today. Let's bring back Chrome here. There we go. And just to double check, again, I know we're jumping around a little bit, but can everyone see my screen? Back to the Hobbit, Chrome website. Yes, yes. Patricia, thank you. Robert, thank you. Sharon, thank you. Felicia, thank you. Perfect. Okay, so here we are. And then I'm going to use as an example this website, Parlays Diesel Performance. So with Parlays Diesel Performance, I'm going to use the SEO Quake browser or the SEO Quake tool. So up here you'll see an S and Q, that's SEO Quake. I'm actually going to disable it for now. Okay, I'm going to refresh the page. My toolbar is going to be gone. You can install it into the web browser, okay, but you have to turn it on for it to work, okay? So if you have it installed, great, but you do have to turn it on to make sure it works and it is grabbing the right information. So let's turn it on. So right now it's turned off, but it is plugged in. So again, just to reiterate, so basically what we're going to be doing is so we've downloaded Google Chrome. We've downloaded Google Chrome. We've installed the SEO Quake tool. Now we're going to turn it on. So Clara, so let's take a pause here. We have a question. Let's see. I'm brand new. Is this webinar okay at this point? I don't know what SEO means. Okay, so what SEO means, Clara, and good question, that's okay. Typically with SEO, it stands for search engine optimization. So when you go to, let's say, google.com, and you have a website, so if you're just starting out, Clara, we don't have a website quite yet. We're building our website. Let's say you have a finished website and it's up and running, okay? Then at this point, you would be driving people or traffic to your website to gain, number one, traffic, and number two, we want people to buy from you. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, and this is basically tools and techniques you can be doing to have your website climb the Google search rankings. So when someone does type in, I don't know, let's put bonsai trees. Let's say you're selling bonsai trees as a niche idea or what you want to sell on your site. You'll climb that search ranking. So you'll be here at the top from doing the practices that I'm showing you here today. So that's what SEO means. It stands for search engine optimization. Now, typically it's after you have a website, you're building a website, and now you're driving traffic to the site. That's kind of what we're looking for, what that means. Okay? And you're welcome. Hopefully that helps you out and help you kind of get a little bit of understanding of what's going on there. So going back to the tool that we're using, or the plugin. Okay, so again, we've downloaded Chrome. We've installed the plugin. So as you can tell, I use a lot of plugins here. Now you don't want to go too crazy with the plugins because it can slow the browser down, especially if you don't have the best internet connection. I use these a lot for different editing tools. You can, like, I have a color picker where you click on it and you can pick out what color this blue is. I have a note taker to take notes. I have, a Google caller where it can call people. I have a history analyst to kind of see where I spend most of my time on the internet. If I'm wasting time or being productive, whatever you want to do with that. And then I have it's just kind of a bookmarker. It's called it's read it later, basically. So if I see an article but I don't have time to read it right now, I can hit that button and it puts it in a folder for me online, and it saves it for me. But again, these are Google Chrome extensions or plugins. Feel free to download whatever you want. There's a lot of useful ones on there. It's all personal preference what you like to use, but go play with them. It's kind of fun. But just be aware, the more you plug in, the more the browser has to run, which means, or tentatively, it will eat up the RAM on the computer and may slow your computer down. So don't go too crazy with them. Just use the ones that you want. And if you notice you're not using one after a month or two, delete it, take it out. But so we've downloaded Google Chrome. We've installed the SEO plugin. Now we need to turn it on. So let's come up here to the SEO Quake, and you'll see that it's just gray right now. If you click on it, you'll see enable. Okay, and I'll go nice and slow, so we'll click on enable. And now it's colorful. You'll see green, orange, I don't know what else is in there, yellow, I guess, to show that it is on. Okay. And so what you're seeing here is with the SEO tool and plugin, and with that getting installed, now that it is turned on, okay, whatever web page you're on, refresh it. Okay, so we'll refresh that. And you'll notice here up at the top, you have a toolbar now. Okay, and it's an SEO Quake toolbar. So let me zoom in there. Let's see if we can just get a better view of it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm still on the same site. I've just refreshed the page, and we have this toolbar here at the top. Okay, that gives me a lot of information on this site, and this is where SEO Quake really comes in handy, because we can use these links as well as information to kind of better our site as well. Now with the Google Chrome browser, again, it is at the top of the page. If you notice there, if I scroll down, it disappears. You see that? See how it's gone now and I don't see it? So don't freak out if you don't see it. Just scroll back up to the top and it will be there. It also works for other pages. So if I were to go to a different page on this site, so the EGR page, you'll notice it reboots and it gives me the information for this page, not the website in general, this page. So now we're looking at a different, I'm not even sure what these are, EGR delete, sinister diesel EGR delete with intake tube, cool. It's now going to pull information about this web or this page. Okay, so that's kind of what's cool about it. Again, you'll kind of see how that slows down a browser because it has to reset everything every page you go to, and how many web pages do you go into a day? There's a lot. So it's smart to maybe turn it off when you're not using it, and then turn it back on when you need it. So let me show you that feature is turning it off and then back on. So same thing as turning it on. You click on it and then click disable. Okay, now it still remains there, but you'll notice if I go back to the home page now of Parlays Diesel Performance, it doesn't show up. It's not there. It's been turned off. Okay, so again, let's turn it back on because we're going to be showing it to you. So enable, and then refresh your page, and there it is. Okay, so it's very convenient, very nice. But let's go through it. What is it? What does it do for us? How can it benefit us at an SEO level? So first things first is the information section. Okay, if you click on info, okay, it'll bring up a new tab. Okay, and it pulls the information or the page info that you need or am using for the site. Okay, so as you can tell, this is SEO Quake pulling this information here. Page info, this is the URL. The title, okay. Now it says title. What title is that? What is that? What do you think that is? I'm going to quiz you guys. What do you think that is where it says title? What kind of title is that? Who can answer that question? Anyone? Title. Remember title. There we go. Perfect, Robert. Perfect. It's the meta title. Good job, Robert. It's the meta title to their page. Okay. And then Patricia, you said homepage title. Yes, but it is the meta title. And then that's the title that is going into the site, or the meta title. So perfect. Great job. So that's the meta title, and then your meta keywords. So they put in keywords here. And then, of course, remember, like we talked about, the meta description. And then internal links, they have 132 internal links. And then as well as it shows your external links, and then what server it's bouncing off of. That's just the name of the server, and that can be anywhere in the world, to be honest with you. But that server that they're using is named Cowboy. That's where it's being hosted. So it's kind of crazy what this can do and information that's being pulled. Now, this information, though, here, we'll be going over because that's in the actual SEO Quake toolbar. So don't worry about that right now. But I did want to show you this. This goes over the keyword density. Okay, I guess that's a section in the SEO tool also. I'll go through and show you what that is also. So Clara, you asked what is meta. Okay, so I asked that question. Remember title, and I asked what kind of title it is. And Robert, you answered meta title. Remember, the meta title is the title that you're putting on the back end of the site for Google to read. Basically, you're telling Google, hey, this is the title to my website. This is what I want to be presented. So, Claire, I do have a webinar on meta tags, is what it's called. I'd write that down. It's called meta tags. I recommend you watch that. It's very good, and it goes into really good depths on meta title and meta description. You will be a master at it when you watch those. So feel free to watch that, and if you have any questions, let us know. So again, that's just, remember, that's just the page info that I clicked on here, and it gives me that information to the site. So if you ever want to use that. Now, I usually don't use that because it just kind of tells you what's on the site, which you're already viewing the site, so you kind of already know. I guess if you really want to know what server they're using, I guess you can look that up, but I don't know why you would want to. So, so that's the information page, or the info page. Okay. Next one is your page rank. That's your Google page rank. Page rank is where Google ranks you. Okay. It's a number between, there's NA, so not applicable, 0, and then 1 through 10. Okay. So how Google ranks it is, a lot of people think it's just 1 through 10, but you have to remember there's non-applicable, which means Google may not have found your website yet. And then there's 0, where Google has found your site, but they haven't ranked you. They don't like you enough to rank you yet, or you haven't been around enough to be involved in the PageRank ranking system. And then once you get a 1, that means you're well on your way to getting a lot of good traffic. So if you want to check this on your own site, if you're a 1, great, 2, great, higher the better, okay? But don't expect to be 7, 8, 9 out of the gate. Let me put it this way. Out of the history of internet, so how long has the internet been around? Oh man, let's say 30 years, I'd say. Out of the history of the internet, Google's been around for, I want to say, about 15 years on really having an authority on the online, and they created this PageRank system. But there's only, I want to say, 8 websites out there that have a PageRank of 10. So out of 15 years of internet browsing and billions of websites being created and passed on to, and blogs and posts and Facebook being created. There's only, I want to say, 8 websites that have a page rank of 10. Adobe is one of them. I think Wikipedia is one of them. You can Google it. Let's have some fun here. Let's see what we can find. Web pages that have a page rank of 10. Let's see. Google PageRank 10 sites. Okay, so it looks like there's 10 websites out there that have a page rank of 10. So the U.S. government, their page rank is a page rank of 10. Adobe, like I was saying, the Adobe Flash Player web page, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, social bookmarking and sharing widget, Europena, I don't know what that is. So yeah, so there's about 10 of them. United Nations, that's one of them, and then an add this. So I just want to kind of reiterate that getting to a page rank of 10 isn't going to come overnight. You're talking 15 years that these sites have had teams and teams and teams and teams of people working on their SEO, and they're now a page rank of 10. So I'm going to look at this one, though. This page rank of 3 is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal number, and that's a page rank of 3. On the low end of the scale, if you have a page rank of 3, you're going to be doing pretty well. Okay, so continue to work on that. Continue to work on your SEO. How you get page rank is just neutrality, is just working on SEO, and Google is the one that judges that. There's no way to further your score to page 10. There's no way to lower your score. It's just Google ranks that. So that's all PageRank is. It's just kind of a ranking system that Google ranks you. But again, remember, 15 years, only 10 websites have a PageRank of 10. Looks like the U.S. government has 3. Adobe systems have some social bookmarking sites have some. So it's possible. Anyone can do it, but I wouldn't focus on that number. But if you get to a page rank of 1 or even 0, 0 just means that Google's found you and you have been indexing. So that's a good number as well, even though it is a 0. Kind of sounds reverse, but that is a good mark on your end. So that's page rank. The next one is indexing. You'll see this Google index. Okay. And with an I next to it. Basically all that is Google indexing. If you click on it, that just tells you how many times Google has found your page and is showing it in the Google search engine. So number 1, again, there's their meta tag, or excuse me, their meta title, and then their meta description like we looked at earlier, as you can tell. But they've been indexed 5,240 times. So that's good. So if you've just started a web page and you're only indexing 30 to 50 times, that's 100% okay. That's great. That means Google's indexing your site and is placing your site. We just need backlinks and people to start talking about it. So that's a great thing, especially when you're just starting out. Okay, so that's indexing. Basically, again, Google is just a giant library, but online. Basically, it just means they've found a page and they've put it on the Google servers for people to find you. That's all that is. Now, if you've ever submitted a sitemap to Google, again, that's a whole topic in itself, but if you've ever submitted a sitemap to Google, that's exactly what you can be doing. Okay? That might be a good idea or a good topic, is we'll talk about webmaster tools and how to submit it. I do know there's a webinar that does go into how to submit your website and sitemap to Google. It's done by Davin under the website design section. So if you want to remember that, it's called Webmaster Tools. Okay. So that's a good one there. So in essence, this one is perfect for what we're discussing. Okay. And they've been indexed 5,240 times. Okay. Now, don't let that discourage you. If you only have 30, 40 pages, that's fine. As your website grows, you're going to be adding pages. You're going to be adding blog posts. You're going to be adding content, products, so you'll get there. You'll get to this point. It just takes time. So more the better, but as long as we go through, we can get that going for you. Okay. So that's the next one. That's Google indexing. This next one, I'm actually not too sure about. Let's take a look at it. It's the SEM Rush Links. Okay. So it's an L. This is for SEM. This is search engine marketing. It's through SEM Rush. Basically, they just kind of analyze the authority for each page that's being indexed. And it gives you kind of a diagnostics of what you're doing if you're running this on your own site, or if maybe you're looking up a competitor. So we can kind of tell what's been going on. They have a total of 293 backlinks, referred domains, referred IPs. That just is IP addresses. So it goes into a lot of information on the backlinks that are going out there, and you can kind of see what backlinks they're using. Oh, and look, it looks like it shows what kind of root domain name it comes from also. So that's kind of cool. To be honest with you, I don't get into this too much. You would have to have, again, teams to really analyze this. I personally don't do it, and you'll be just fine. But I guess it's cool that it's there. SEMrush does that for you. But for us and what we're doing, when you're starting a site and starting your SEO, this doesn't matter. So, okay. So that's the next one. That's your SEMrush. Let's look into the SEMrush link domain. So same thing. It looks like they're just using the domain name section here. Again, same thing. I wouldn't say it's as viable. I wouldn't say you have to use it or know how to do it, but it's there if you want to research it and look into maybe your competition and kind of see where they're backlinking, and get ideas for you to backlink. So I guess that would be a good source of where you can do that. So there you go on that. And then the next one is your Bing. That's your Bing index. Now, if anyone doesn't know what Bing is, that is Microsoft's search engine. So we have Google. So basically, it's Microsoft's Google. It's what Microsoft has created to compete with Google. So you can search from here. Let's do this, bonsai trees, just like we did with the Google search, and see if you'll notice this. This looks identical to Google, if you ask me. Looks the exact same, even though this is Bing. This is off the Bing search engine. Again, Google is miles and miles ahead of Bing when it comes to the search engine. Bing is catching up, but they're nowhere near where Google is at this point. So not a lot of people use them quite yet, if ever. But if you'll notice, this looks just like Google. So, and here's Google's search for bonsai trees. So, okay. And then back to Bing. Here's Bing. So I guess they have kind of some images off to the right. It's kind of cool, but I wouldn't say Bing is anywhere near Google when it comes to the search engine authority as well as search engine power behind it. So that's that. Let's see. So that's your Bing. Now again, definitely, or we don't want you to throw out Bing as well, because it is a powerhouse online, but it's not as much as Google is. And so I wouldn't forget about it, but I would say it's not our number one choice. So, okay, hang on one second, guys. I don't know. I think I may have lost my page here. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry guys, 1 second. There we go. Okay, there we go, we're back. Can everyone see my screen again? I'm sorry. Let me know. Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. It just got a little skewampus on there. Okay, so that's the Bing search engine. The next one is the Alexa rank. Alexa rank's just going into kind of your authority of the backlinks. So where you're ranked online, total out of, every single website out there, and you're talking globally. And, we're trying to rank for keywords, not necessarily rank overall. So this doesn't really apply to us too much, but it's good knowledge to have, and it's good to know who's backlinking to you and whatnot, and where it's coming from and how they're doing. People have paid into this to climb the search ranking, I guess, total or overall, but again, it's nothing we need. It's nothing that we're trying to rank for keywords or our niche idea, not just an overall general. So if you can tell, they're what 1 millionth out of who knows what. So again, just over time that will continue to grow because websites will be shut down or move around. But again, it doesn't really matter to us at what we're doing. Just know that it's there. Okay, so that's the Alexa ranking. The next one is the age. Now, the nice thing about this is you can just look up your domain name age. So it looks like they purchased this domain name at the end of 2005, and they started working on their website, and now they're into 2015. So it just kind of tells you a history of a domain name. A lot of times if you just purchase a domain name, it may just show that, yeah, you purchased it 2014, maybe even 2015. But someone may have owned it beforehand back in like 2005. So it may show up that it's there and then it was shut down, and then someone bought it in 2009 and then it was shut down, and then you bought it 2014 or 15 or whatever it may be. So if you see that it's older than when you purchased the domain name, that's okay. It just means someone may have owned it at one point. Okay. So that's good. Domain age does go along with your domain authority. What is it? Older the better, or older wiser, whatever have you. So it does go into that scenario there where it does help with the domain authority that you do have for the site. So okay, and then the next one is your Delicious. It's called the Delicious Social Bookmarking page. And if your site has been indexed, it looks like they haven't saved anything to delicious.com, or I think it's DELICIO.US, but it comes to delicious.com. So yeah, so delicious.com, I talked about that last time where you're bookmarking your web page. So we've now actually found, I guess, Achilles heel, we'll say. This powerful Parlays dieselperformance.com has zero indexing on Alexa, or not Alexa, on Delicious indexing. So, if maybe you're selling diesel performance products, and we get to the point where we do have, 5,000 index links, we have a page rank of 3, we're doing SEO, and we're now a direct competitor to Parlays Diesel, you can now, okay, well, they don't have any indexing links, but let's start beating them out. You can start bookmarking your own pages to Delicious, which would actually give you an edge over Parlays dieselperformance.com. So I've just kind of showed you how we can kind of investigate our competitors and see kind of what they're lacking on that would actually benefit us more. Okay, it would actually help us get a little bit further. So I just found a little, I guess, Achilles heel in theirs is they don't have anything listed, as you can tell here, on the Delicious social networking. Now, again, Delicious doesn't have a lot of authority, but it does have some. It does show that, you know, it's not going to hinder their business at all, but it could improve it that much more. So there you go. That's a little insider for you. Okay, now again, moving along here, we don't have too much time, but I wanted to get through all these other ones. The next one is Twitter. You know, how many excuse me, how many tweets are they doing? So are people tweeting about it? Are people talking about it? Are people having a discussion on Twitter about this website? So it goes through and just kind of talks about these people that are talking about Parlays Diesel. So there's not a lot there. That's probably another. There's only 34 people that have talked about it on Twitter, which is kind of crazy. So there's another kind of Achilles heel we could, you know, kind of hit them with, is get people talking about it on Twitter. You know, if you have a Twitter account, start talking about your site. Start getting others to talk about it. Have mom and grandma get on Twitter and talk about it, because that can help. They only have 34, so that's kind of weak there. So that's kind of the thing with Twitter. And then you have Facebook, which is 261. That's likes. So if you can see that there at the top left-hand corner, that's how many people have liked their page. That's not too hard to reach either. If you get, you know, people liking your page, the better. They only have 261. I would think for someone with a page rank of 3 that's been around for so long, they'd have more than that. But who knows? Maybe they're just not hitting that area. And then your Google Plus is how many people have one-upped or given a Google Plus or a one-up on Google for this site. Only 93, but Google Plus really isn't as popular as like a Facebook or Twitter. Google Plus is still kind of gaining authority. It will get there, I would say, in the next 2-3 years, but it's not anything of authority right now. Okay? So that's kind of your social outworks or kind of basis regarding a website. The next one is the Whois. Whois just kind of tells you who owns the site. Now, if the website or domain name is private, you really can't see much about this, but it looks like the company Wild West Domains LLC has purchased this. They own it. You know, if you want to see their IP address, where they're located, but you know, they have an address on their website, so you can kind of see where they're located anyways. What servers they're using, you know, so it just kind of gives you information of who it is now. And you'll see there's their server again, Cowboy. So in essence, I am going to say using this is almost in a way creepy, because you're kind of spying on them and looking into, you know, where their IP is located, their website. You know, if there's a name associated, you can actually see a name of who owns it. So that's kind of where people can gather information about you and your site. So that's why it's always good to register a private domain name. Then no one can see that. So if you want to use that, you can. I've never really used it because I don't really care. They pretty much put all their information on their site, like their phone number, you know, who owns it, probably a business name, where they're located, IP addresses, so it doesn't really matter. So that's the Whois. If you ever want to get into that, you can. And then the source, remember, that's just looking at the code of the site. Remember, you can look at their meta content. There's their meta keywords. You know, let's have some fun here. Let's see if we can find their title. Where is it? So they have their keywords. Oh, yeah, there's their title. Okay, so you can kind of see the back end, the code that was put into the site. Again, the nice thing about the browsers nowadays is you don't have to understand this. You just have to build the builder, and through the builder, like if you're using the Volusion builder, and it will produce this for you, so you don't have to do it. That's the nice thing about nowadays. Back in the day, you know, people had to write this up letter by letter, you know, going through and typing it out and understanding code to build a website, but not anymore, not nowadays. So that's nice. Okay, so that's the source. Again, another way to get to the source using the Chrome browser is usually off to the side. If you right-click and then do View Page Source, if you can see that, it'll take you to the same spot. So it's another way to do it. You don't have to go through the SEO toolbar, but that's there also. And then we have the SEM Rush Rank. I don't know why the SEM Rush isn't over here with these two, but same thing. It goes through this exact same thing that we've already been on. So if you want to look into it, again, you don't have to look into it. It doesn't benefit us at this point. But I really wanted to get into these last two. So density. This is where we have keywords that's placed throughout the site, and it shows you what words they're using most of. So you can see here, the bigger the word and more bold, the more they use it. So diesel, performance, tuners, injection, exhaust. So that's a good way to find keywords for your own site if you're trying to look up a competitor. You can look up keywords that they're using. It also shows keywords ranked out by how many times it shows. And when it says found in, when you see that TDK, that means meta title, meta description, and meta keywords, which means diesel's in all of them. Okay. If you go down, or if you scroll down, you'll see another section that says two, where it's two words combined. So diesel performance is used quite a bit throughout the site. View all, that's kind of strange. Stack kits, okay. So it just kind of shows you what keywords they're using most of, okay. So you can get ideas from your competitors, or if someone's just really hammering you and you just can't beat them competition-wise, you can kind of investigate, well, what are they using? What are they putting on their site most? Okay. And then the density, 3.1%. That just means that diesel's being used 3.1% of their entire site. So every 100 words on their site, it's being pronounced 3 times. So it's quite a bit. Okay. So diesel is being pronounced every 100 words 3 times throughout their website. Okay. So that's your density tool. And then your last one here I wanted to show you is the diagnosis. And this is where it comes into play, or pretty good for you if you're wanting to reassess yourself and your website. When you click on it, it gives you the SEO Quake diagnosis. So it tells you if you have a good URL, your title is in place with 59 characters, your meta description, your keywords. Again, keywords don't really matter, but if you want to get that check mark, you can throw it in there. See, they don't have an H1 tag, so they're struggling there. They do have an H3 tag, so they get a yellow sign there. Images, they have alt tags on all their images. You know, text to HTML ratio. That just means, you know, if their HTML is being coded with the text, that doesn't really matter. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It doesn't have a frame shape website, and then flash not detected, so that's okay. You know, their robots have gone in. They have not submitted their XML sitemap. That is interesting. Look at that. They have not found it. Language just means if it comes in a different language, but not everyone can do that. You know, probably being based here in the US, maybe have a Spanish version. That might help, but I don't think that would hurt at all. But I can't believe their XML sitemaps hasn't been submitted. That's crazy. So there you go. That's another Achilles heel you can look into. Encoding, I wouldn't really worry about. They do have Google Analytics. That's good. Micro formats, wouldn't worry about. Dublin Core, wouldn't format. Now, if you don't know what these are, it does show you advice, and it gives you an idea of what you can do to further better that. But again, the more check marks you have, the better. So it doesn't hurt to work on it as you go through. Geographical meta tags, not really necessary, but you can work on it. They do have a favicon, so and then server again. There's that cowboy. So that's kind of the big one. There is the diagnosis. Is you can do that to your own site and kind of see what you need to work on, and then it gives you a check mark once it's done. Now again, this isn't automatic. So once you've placed your your meta title there, is this going to change automatically? No, it has to pick up, and it pulls this information from Google and different sources. So once that source picks up on it, then it will change it. So, okay. So I only have a minute to here left, but that's the SEO Quake toolbar, and that's downloading it for Google Chrome, and then using it and how to use it on your Chrome browser. So again, feel free to have that help you and benefit you, but yeah, definitely use that to your benefit on analyzing your competition, learning about your own website, what you need to work on, and then really work on your SEO to get to a point. Now, again, I'm not trying to bash this. The site's a perfect website. They make a lot of money. They support employees. So they're maybe lacking in a couple areas during their SEO, and with you knowing that, you have now become, I would say, more highly ranked than a lot of SEO teams out there. They don't know about stuff like that, and you now do. So this Parlays Diesel Performance struggles in some of that area, but that's probably not their forte. They're probably focused on auto parts and selling to trucks and different pieces. So that's kind of what they wanted to work on. But we did find that's the cool thing. We did find some weakness there in their SEO. So that's something that they could work on. And who's to say you can't go to other companies and ask them, hey, I'm an SEO specialist. I can help you out with your SEO to help you fill out these weaknesses. So maybe employment opportunities for you also in that regard. So. Cool. Well, that's all I got. That's all the time I have. I wish I could answer questions, but it's kicking me out. So you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or email your mentor or coach. Thank you, guys. Keep up the SEO work and go hit it hard. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Goodbye.